Welcome to our 20-second devotional video of LightHouse KinShip, taking that first step, faith.
Matthew 8, 6-8 and verse 10 NLT. Lord, my young servant lies in bed paralyzed and in terrible pain. Jesus said, I will come and heal him. But the officer said, Lord, I'm not worthy to have you come into my home. Just say the word where you are, and my servant will be healed. When Jesus heard this, he was amazed. Turning to those who were following him, he said, I tell you the truth. I haven't seen faith like this in all Israel.
Today is Friday, August the 20th, 2021. Bobby and I are here at Blake Falls, Woodbury, Vermont.
Exodus 14:15 ESV. The Lord said to Moses, why do you cry to me? Tell the people of Israel to go forward.
What have we missed from verses 13 and 14 to verse 15? In verse 13 and 14, Moses is boldly telling the Israelites to trust God and he will fight the whole Egyptian army that is racing towards them while the Red Sea is before them.
Exodus 14, verse 13-14 ESV. And Moses said to the people, fear not, stand firm and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will work for you today. For the Egyptians whom you see today, you shall never see again. The Lord will fight for you, and you have only to be silent.
However, in verse 15, God is asking Moses, why is he doubting him? Have you ever tried to outwardly encourage yourself or someone else while the whole time there is a battle of doubt raging on between what you were saying and what you were seeing all around you? There is a quote from Tony Evans that explains what was happening between verse 13 and 14 to verse 15. Faith is acting like something is so, even when it is not so, in order that it might be so, simply because God said so. Tony Evans. But you know what God has spoken to you through his word and in your spirit. But what you see with your natural eyes does not align with what God is saying.
James 2:18 ESV. But someone will say, you have faith and I have works. Show me your faith apart from your works, and I will show you my faith by my works.
It took faith combined with action for Moses and the Israelites to move forward. When God was calling for me to step out into my own Red Sea of faith, 4 years of college, I had to do the stepping. God never left me to my own resources during those years of my walking by faith. There were long and difficult times and situations that I walked through, but God's divine hands were always pointing me through my own Red Sea.
James 1:23-25 ESV. For if anyone is a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like a man who looks intently at his natural face in a mirror. For he looks at himself and goes away and at once forgets what he was like. But the one who looks into the perfect law, the law of liberty, and perseveres, being no hearer who forgets, but a doer who acts, he will be blessed in his doing.
Moses was my biblical example my 4 years of college. He saw the obstacles, Pharaoh's army, and the Red Sea as opportunities. I too had to see every obstacle that came into my path as opportunities, or I would have been just a hearer and not a doer.
Colossians 3:2 ESV. Set your minds on things that are above, not on things that are on earth. People who walk by faith don't see obstacles, they see opportunities. Warren W. Wiersbe.
God never intends for his children to feast on yesterday's faith. The faith that we had for past obstacles must become greater faith for today's opportunities.
1 Corinthians 2:5 ESV. That your faith might not rest in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God.
For my 4 years of college, my faith was being strengthened because God had a more pressing and intense journey coming. This journey was walking hand in hand with my mother through a season that was requiring greater faith. God was telling me that my mother had completed her race here on earth and it was time for her to come home now. 2 Timothy 4:7.
1 Corinthians 13:13 ESV. So now faith, hope, and love abide, these three, but the greatest of these is love.
Besides strengthening my faith through 4 years of college and giving greater faith walking with my mother for her final journey here on earth, God has called for Bobby and I to have amazing faith.
2 Chronicles 20:12 NLT. O our God, won't you stop them? We are powerless against this mighty army that is about to attack us. We do not know what to do, but we are looking to you for help.
For a decade, Bobby and I have watched as our loved ones have turned from walking, loving, and serving the Lord to a heart filled with anger, bitterness, hatred, disrespect, dishonor, and rudeness.
Isaiah 43:2 ESV. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and through the rivers, they shall not overwhelm you. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned, and the flame shall not consume you.
When this raging battle started, God pointed us to 2 Chronicles 20. King Jehoshaphat and the whole nation of Judah were being attacked by three different enemies. Bobby and I had three different groups of individuals attacking us. In 2 Chronicles 20, God told Jehoshaphat to stand firm because this battle belonged to him.
2 Chronicles 20, verse 15 and 17 NLT. This is what the Lord says. Do not be afraid. Don't be discouraged by this mighty army, for the battle is not yours, but God's. But you will not even need to fight. Take your positions, then stand still and watch the Lord's victory. He is with you, O people of Judah and Jerusalem. Do not be afraid or discouraged. Go out against them tomorrow, for the Lord is with you.
Not just days or months have passed, but now years. Bobby and I must stay not only hearers of God's divine word, but we must keep walking as believers of God's divine word.
Exodus 14:28 NLT. Then the waters returned and covered all the chariots and the charioteers, the entire army of Pharaoh. Of all the Egyptians who had chased the Israelites into the sea, not a single one survived. 2 Chronicles 20:24 NLT. So when the army of Judah arrived at the lookout point in the wilderness, all they saw were dead bodies lying on the ground as far as they could see. Not a single one of the enemy had escaped.
Walk by faith. Stop the plague of worry. Relax. Learn to say, Lord, this is your battle. Charles R. Swindoll. Isaiah 54:17 ESV. No weapon that is fashioned against you shall succeed, and you shall refute every tongue that rises against you in judgment. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their vindication from me, declares the Lord.
This concludes our 22nd devotional video of LightHouse KinShip, taking that first step, faith. Monica and I thank you for traveling along with us here at the Martin Covered Bridge on the Winooski River in Marshfield, Vermont. Come along and journey with us by subscribing to our channel. Hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next stop. And please, let us know how these devotions are helping you by leaving your comments below. And please, give us a thumbs up and share these videos on your social media platforms.